Hi, I'm back again. I didn't realize I had another uh, few minutes here, so let me check my time. I've been doing some reading, making some little videos of kid stories, so I'm getting used to this. I think I write little kid stories. You can check them out. Grandpa's bedtime stories, I think they're called, or I titled it. And the first story is the Magic Sneakers, but that's another story, you might say. Okay, 6:11. So about 6:20, it should do it, I think. Okay, I left off where I'd had this experience, out-of-body experience, and speaking to this biblical figure. And 3 days after that experience, I'd had a prearranged appointment with a man named Richard Zenner, who to my mind was, I don't know if you believe in mediums, but this man was probed and examined by doctors all over the country who couldn't figure out what was going on with him. In trance, his pulse, heart rate, everything was practically zilch. He was on the point of death, in trance. And a Los Angeles reporter at the time, Jimmy Crenshaw, was a complete skeptic. He was a hard-nosed crime reporter, investigative reporter, and he was intent on exposing this man as a fraud. He spent a year investigating Richard, came away 100% believer. I mean, the evidence was so overwhelming he had no other choice. He documented more than 20 languages came through Richard. In other words, relatives went to him and without telling him any details of who had died in the family, whether it was a parent or grandparent or a relative or friend or a child, he had no idea. In every single case, Richard would tell them who had died and what the message was. And the messages were, as I say, often in the language of the person. Friends of ours, Jewish friends, their son died of a brain tumor at 21. He came through Richard and talked to his mother, gave his childhood Yiddish name, things that Richard had no knowledge of, even spoke a little Yiddish, I think, and told his mother that he was having a wonderful time. He was actually teaching children to swim. Now remember, this is not on earth, this is in the spirit world. And these children obviously had died as children and were learning to swim. So if you can't swim when you leave this earth, you can learn afterwards. And that's true of piano, voice, acting, you name it. You're going to be able to continue whatever studies interest you. There's huge halls of learning, universities. Um, it all goes on. Not too much different to now, but without all of the problems we have on earth. No physical, obviously, physical illnesses or monetary situations. There's no dirt. You don't need a vacuum cleaner. But it's a pristine, beautiful, beautiful world of landscapes, houses, trees, grass, uh, flowers of every color, variety, trees of every variety in the world, lakes, oceans, villages, cities, whatever a person's used to, they can replicate the exact conditions over there. If they love their house they've lived in for all their life, it can be duplicated there. It's all done by mind. In fact, everything in creation is really mind. Interesting thing. Religion, organized religion, is they really don't have an idea of, I mean, they talk about being saved, or if you believe certain things you'll be saved and you'll have eternal life and all of that. We all have eternal life. We couldn't avoid it if we wanted to. But it's the quality of that life that is a determining factor that is controlled by us. I mean, if we're in a confused state now, if we're in a drug state, uh, in a living a fairly low level of existence here, I'm not talking about due to monetary conditions, because some of the people in the slums on earth will find themselves in mansions on the other side, depending on the state of their heart and their soul. That's all that counts. No matter what they tell you, by your works you shall be known. Doesn't mean you have to go out and be a saint and save the world like Mother Teresa. You only have to do your best. And you'll make mistakes. You're not expected to be perfect. You're in an imperfect world. Well, there's more, of course, and we'll continue on a little later. And we'll perhaps go into reincarnation, which again will be hard for a lot of people to accept. I might read sort of an essay I've written next time. Okay, thank you. If you're interested, tune in again. This is Robert Evans.